How do you? Give us a little bit of background. How do you?
I just turned 28.
Oh, okay. Okay, reasonable. Okay, so what do you do for a living? You got a job or something?
No, I've actually made like quite a bit of money just playing video games. And like I said in the donation, like I've been in the crypto space for like 8 years. So like I've made, I don't know, a decent amount of money that I rolled from like playing video games into crypto, pretty much.
Okay. Um. Okay. So there was three donated Andys about let's not go into specifics. The, I can't really
Yeah,
tell which one was you, but I have an idea. All I was saying is that let's not talk about the. We can talk about it later if you want about the real life applications of crypto as a and blockchain as a technology. I understand that
yeah,
because I don't know all about it. But what I meant more is explaining the actual real life use or the actual value of the monkey or NFT if you want, just the
yeah.
actual art piece, not the NFT technology, the actual the art pieces, because I'm trying to tie real life use and whatnot to a piece of art
Yeah, I
by
get
NFT.
that. And I also want to say I'm not gonna like shill any like projects or anything like that. Like you were saying before, like I'm not gonna talk about like any specific anything like that. Like, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be like trying to pump the price of something right now or anything like that. Just so you know right away. But okay, so like the way I look at it at least is like crypto as a whole has been evolving for like, a decade now, right? And like prior to like 3, 4 years ago, a lot of it was just like speculative. No one really knew like if anything was gonna amount to anything in the crypto space at all. This was before like NFTs were really even a thing. Like they were a little bit of a thing back in like 2017, but like they didn't really get popular until recently. And a lot of what you're saying is true. Like a lot of the crypto like NFT projects are just like overhyped, like pump and dump type. Like a lot of people are gonna end up losing money if they FOMO into them. But at the same token though, there's a ton of value behind the way it works. So like when I was donating to you and I was telling you like, if you understood more about it, it would maybe change your opinion. It's because of like
If you understand Voda, what is that?
if I said what?
If you understand what? If you
If you
understood,
understood more
I'll
about
get more about. Okay,
like
sorry.
yeah, sorry. Anyways, like what you were saying before about, we can talk more about like the blockchain technology and everything like that. Like when you look at the NFT space as a whole, that's what makes it so valuable is the fact that like say for example, I don't know, like a Michael Jordan basketball card, right? Like like the #1 trading card company, it's called Panini, and like they make trading cards, right? And
Right.
you can buy like a Michael Jordan basketball card that's like numbered out of 5. There's only 5 of them in existence, right? And because there's a bunch of Michael Jordan fans, that card has a lot of value. It's nothing more than a picture on a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard. You know what I mean? Like that's really like not valuable, but it's valuable because people say that it has value.
Yeah,
But
of
the
course. I mean,
problem with
that
that,
goes with that's just what
anything,
any
yeah.
product, anything at all, actually.
For sure, yeah. But the problem with it, and the reason why NFTs are so much like, how the reason that they've like revolutionized the way everything works right now, and it's going to just continue to happen, is because of the fact that Michael Jordan card, someone in China can literally make a counterfeit version of it that looks nearly identical, and they can just sell it for $100,000 to somebody, and you really have no way to know for sure if that's a legitimate or authentic card. Like there's really no way to tell for sure besides buying it from someone that's reputable, and
Okay,
that's
okay.
really the only insurance you have.
Don't get mad at me because this is a very zero head to the argument. When it comes down to authenticity or what it looks like when you have it, technically, when something is digital, it's even easier to counterfeit. You can make it perfect looking, right?
So yeah, you
You
can.
can make it literally perfect.
You could make it a mirror image, but the thing is, the difference is and the same thing can be said for like a counterfeit trading card as well. Like a Charizard, for example, you could have a counterfeit that's like literally identical. You know what I mean? Like you literally cannot tell the difference between the two. But with what you said about like the digital space and with the crypto space in general, that's why blockchain technology is so revolutionary, because blockchain technology is completely open source. So when you buy, for example, LeBron James or Michael Jordan NFT from somebody, right? Now that NFT that has the same value that that trading card does, you can actually verify the authenticity by using the blockchain. The blockchain verifies that that is one of the 5 that were created. There are no counterfeits of it. And if there is a counterfeit that's made of it, it won't be it won't be in the same space on the blockchain that the original ones are. You know what I'm saying? So like you're immediately able to tell if something's authentic or not because of that reason.
Right.
That's crazy. That's like that means that you could like buy an NFT of LeBron James going for a slam dunk or something like that, and you can actually verify that this was an NFT that was created by the NBA and it was sent to you by the NBA, like the actual, the actual NBA. It's not just like some counterfeit one that was made in someone's basement or whatever, and you're able to verify that. And then when you trade it to someone else, they're able to verify as well, oh yeah, this one actually did come from NBA's crypto blockchain NFT platform, because you're able to look at where it exactly came from. That's something that hasn't happened prior. That's something that's never been a thing.
Yeah. Well, I understand that use. That's always been the main argument, is that is an actual good product. That's a good technology. That's a good method.
Yeah.
But I was talking about the this game is so fucking stupid, dude. Yeah. I was more talking about the way it's used, but not only the way it's used, but by proportion. Think about isn't most from my perspective, right? As like an outsider, most of the NFT being used or the technology being used, or most of what I see is all the hype behind these, like, there's no Michael Jordan, or there's no like Sidney Crosby from hockey or something like that. It's all like crazy small rat with a haircut, small rat with eye. Like it's literally created out of thin air with no restrictions, with no limitations. You can max it as much as you want, and whoever creates them can literally just do whatever the fuck he wants with it, right? He can literally max it out.
Well,
yeah.
Here's the thing though, like just a random person that has no anything, like any kind of like influence, could make a crypto and it just does absolutely nothing. Like if you go and look at like a website that shows you like all of the NFTs that are in existence, I mean there's like millions and millions and millions of them that are worth absolutely nothing.
Yeah, okay.
And then the ones that actually have value because, like, listen, I'm pretty much in agreement with you where NFTs, there's a lot of them that are like extremely worthless. Like even like the green-eyed monkey that's selling for millions of dollars worth of Ethereum. Like, I agree that's very stupid. I agree 100%. But at the same time, though,
we both can't say it's stupid, because if somebody's actually buying it, not in a shitty way, so if somebody's legitimately purchasing it, then so be it. Because people buy things that are stupider all the time. Nothing is stupid. It is crazy. Nothing is stupid. If somebody wants to pay that much money, for them it makes sense. It's not stupid to anybody. It's stupid to people who can't afford it, who don't want to afford it. But if somebody wants to buy it, they can buy it. But
the same.
Yeah, go ahead.
That can happen. Well, I was just gonna say that, like, okay. For starters, just the way life works in general, like if you're lower on the intelligence, scale, like you're probably gonna end up getting taken advantage of. I mean, look at like Indian scammers, right? Like they send out the email that says, "Hi, I'm the prince of whatever, and I want to give you like $1 trillion," right? Like they don't even make it a realistic number. And the reason why they do that is because the only people that actually respond to the email are people that are like extremely stupid. Like when you see that you got an email from the Prince of England saying that he wants to give you a check for $8 billion, like if you actually respond to that, you're an idiot. Or if it's like just a more reasonable amount, you actually might be able to get someone to respond who's like a little bit more intelligent, but then halfway through they realize, wait a minute, this is a scam. So the scammers weed out all the like relatively mediocre for intelligence, and they only focus on people that are extremely stupid. Well, that same logic can be looked at in the crypto space, in any space, like in the stock market, literally anywhere. People that don't know what they're doing, that don't understand like emotions, that don't understand like, hey, an NFT is literally an investment. People that don't understand that are going to get burned. Yeah, it's going to happen. Okay,
so now you're talking about it like it would be a minority, except the way that what I'm currently seeing, personal experience, of course, feel free to deny it. What I'm seeing is more like things are steering that way, trying to use dumb people, and that's the majority of it, not the minority. It's not like the one guy that tried to push his trash one time out of 100. What I'm saying now is nearly 10 out of 10. It's gonna be some guy pushing some product that has 0 followers. What? And the guy's like some multi-millionaire or whatever, and now they're pushing that product. That's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing any other like actual legitimate products. I'm like, oh, that's cool. None of it, 0. Unless people have actual. There's like 1 or 2 good ones that I've seen, but unless people, I think that's the problem though. Is that it's the majority, and when things are like that, like majority, then it's like it clouds the sphere, and you can't see through it.
Okay, so if you look at like 2017, when like the crypto market was like going parabolic back then, there was like prior to that, there was really only like Bitcoin and Ethereum for like a little bit of time leading up to that, right? And like Litecoin and a few others. And then in 2017, when that massive rally happened, I don't know if you remember, but Bitcoin went from like 1,000 to 20,000.
Yeah, and then you have fucking cuck coin, MILF coin, dog shit coin,
yes, exactly.
bullshit. Yeah,
exactly.
Course, yeah.
And of all of those dog shit fucking coins that came out of the woodwork, there are a few, by a few I mean a couple hundred, that actually have some really nice value to them. And those are the diamonds that made it through. Like any of the DeFi projects, which are like decentralized finance. I mean, Ethereum was relatively new in that time period as well. Ethereum was like less than $1 each back then. So it's like there was a lot of coins that ended up, being built then, and now they actually have use cases to them. And I think the same thing is happening right now with NFTs. I think that like in 2017, we saw 1 million altcoins come out of nothing, and then a few of them lasted. Well, now we're seeing the same thing with NFTs. We're seeing a lot of projects that are just dog shit.
I understand that. The problem is though, is that who is your Bitcoin of art NFTs?
Well, that's the thing, is that like no one really knows for sure, because right now it's all happening as we speak. Like it's in the moment. So
you understand that the lack of responsibility of people at the forefront of it is damaging the sphere at a pretty high rate. No?
What was that? Say that again.
I'm just speaking as an outsider. My perspective is purely anecdotal, right? It's just based on what I've seen, right? I feel like it's most of it is like what I'm saying. Is the same scenario, like. There's no good example,
because it's evolving, bro. That's the thing you got to think about. It's evolving as we speak. So like no one really knows what's going to happen in the future, but we're seeing NFTs that are evolving, and they're going to be revolutionary. Like, say for example, a musician, like a rapper. I don't know. Like who's the rapper that's always on Twitch?
So no. Now I have a problem, because now I'm bringing up real examples, and you're giving me hypotheticals. I'm saying some guy's selling Green Monkey, and they're saying some guy could be making music. Some guy could do that. It's not a could. It's who is doing what right now. That's the problem.
These are things that have actually happened though. That's why I'm saying it. Okay, so there's musicians that have sold NFTs where it's like the highest bidder on the NFT of like their whatever it is that they're trying to like auction or sell. Like popular musicians, by the way, and artists. It'll include like if the highest bidder will be able to get like a backdoor pass with them when they have their next like tour or whatever, or like this is why I'm saying that there isn't a lot of like extremely good cases right now, but in the future we're going to see it happening more and more and more, and there are some right now. And out of, like I said earlier too, out of all the
Name one?
different aspects of crypto,
just
out of all the different, I think NFTs are probably like the least valuable out of all of the use cases in crypto. But I still think that there is a lot of value to it. I mean, just being able to verify the authenticity of something by looking at it on the blockchain, that's like amazing. That's like unbelievable. People that want to sell artwork, people that want to sell music, like all that is going to transition to the NFT space over the next like decade. It's just inevitably going to happen.
Okay, no. Like I said, when we always go to the technology, you'll always be right. Like there's no argument against it. What I'm saying is that it's just the majority of its current usage, because all we're seeing is just this Logan Paul pushing minted bullshit, somebody minting his clip, and it seems like most of it is just it's just gonna scamaz.
So Logan Paul's minted bullshit that he created in 20 years from now, in 40 years from now, when people realize that NFTs have taken over the way that like music sales happen, the way that artwork sales happen, the way that like everything in the entire like, you know, world works. I mean, even real estate is going to be traded on blockchain. I'm telling you, like, it's just never really going to happen. Those original founding, you know, NFTs that Logan Paul are minting, or that Logan Paul is minting right now, are going to be extremely valuable because those were like the footsteps to everything. That was like what was starting all of it. And like, you can look at when Bitcoin was at $20,000 each, and then a year later when it went all the way back down to like $3,000 each, everyone thought that whoever bought Bitcoin at $20,000 was a complete idiot, right? The same thing can be said right now about people that are buying NFTs because they're never going to drop. But look what happened 4 years later. We're seeing Bitcoin, you know, approaching all-time highs right now, and we're probably going to continue going over 100K, or at least touch 100K. Like, we have so much momentum, and the point I'm trying to make is that, like, the NFTs that people are buying right now, they're an investment. They're buying them as an investment. They're not buying them because like they think this green little monkey
please, okay. Even though you're saying forefront, all that stuff, okay. Let's be honest. Except for like a couple of them, or a couple projects as they so call them, nobody's buying that like skeleton mouse monkey in whatever money used.
Who knows though? That's the thing. Because, like I said, it's the founding technology of NFTs. Like that, when people think about NFTs and how they've revolutionized the way that the world has worked, those were the ones that started it. Those were the ones that paved the path. Like, those were the original ones. They could be worth more than they are now.
So, it's always like this, right? Something new comes along, doubters, blah blah, right? And it always like translate over, and then things becomes more solidified, right? The thing I'm saying though is that from my perspective, the majority, if not all the uses of the NFT with art is all really bad. And when people try to say, yeah, but the technology, let's be honest, none of them do it because of the technology and what it means. They only do it because of what they get out of it and what they're getting out of it now. It's not about the technology. It has nothing to do with it at all. Nobody buys a monkey saying, guys, it's because it's NFT. Nobody gives a shit.
They do it because it's an investment. And the reason that it's an investment is because of the technology.
That's pure cope.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, because it's the same thing as what crypto was before NFTs were a thing. People used to say the exact same thing about Bitcoin.
Yeah,
oh, this is nothing. This
except you're still buying some sort of currency instead of buying some sort of random monkey made by some nobody.
Yeah, but the thing is, Bitcoin isn't even really a currency. Like it's the way it's evolved is it's used to hedge against the U.S. dollar. Like that is strictly the only reason Bitcoin has value.
Again, copium, because people that use it don't go like, dude, the technology, dude, the whatever. They all say, dude, it's worth that amount of money. For them, it's money. It's worth money. They don't give a shit about who made it, what kind of technology. If it's going to space, they don't give a shit. For them, it's money. End of story. Don't even that most people that care about Bitcoin or have Bitcoin care about its usage in outdoor applications. Nobody gives a shit. Right?
I don't know. Like, I think that's the reason that it's gotten to the point that it's at. I think that if it was just like, you know, a bunch of bullshit, it wouldn't have gotten to the point where it's at. It would have had its like pump, and then it would have faded away, and crypto would have just been something of the past. And that would have happened multiple times when we've seen like these huge rises and then like a correction over the course of like 2 to 3 years, and then it rallies again. Like that the rally again wouldn't happen. The crypto space as a whole, you know how much money is in the crypto space, bro? It's like insane. Like,
yeah, but things will always course correct on their own. Of course.
Yes,
they will.
but when we're talking
people will understand their usage when they see it, when they whatever. For now, it's still kind of slow. People can't even explain these things. I mean, I had to get a fucking 8-year expert to explain half of it, and 80% of my feed on Twitter is filled with it, and I still don't understand it. That's kind of the problem, is that it'll take a bit of time to solidify it. And another problem is that it's used maliciously at high rates, and I think it damages the sphere. So I always say, be careful when doing shit like that. And I think it's crazy the narratives that people have when buying shit like that, when they sell shit to buy pictures, right? And they have the crazy narratives. It's a this, it's a this, it's a that. No, it's not. It's not though. And people say, oh, malicious. So what are you talking about? Okay. What if I made 10 images right now on Paint, 10 of them, and I minted all of them, and I said, yo, viewers, guys, there's only 10 of these, and I'm so cool, I have followers on Twitch or whatever. Buy them. There's only 10 of them. They're huge. Everybody bought them. And then I just sold to them. Then it's like, I mean, a lot of it is that. It's just in different methods.
Yes, exactly. Because people that are excited about the crypto space, because of the blockchain technology, are in like that, and they're also fans of you. It's the same thing as being a fan of Michael Jordan. Like if you made an NFT, or if you minted 10 NFTs, they would sell for a lot of money, bro. Because you have people that are really into crypto, and you have people that are like pretty big fans of you, right? Like
yeah, like I said, if once people see more legitimate uses and more legitimate ways if people are evolving their project or whatever, it'll solidify and it'll course correct it. But now though, the image people have of NFTs is bad, and honestly, can you really blame them? I don't blame them at all. I currently, the way it's used, it's disgusting.
I mean, yeah, it can be. Depends on.
It's not that it can. It's that it is, and it. No, it's an ongoing thing. You can't. When you say it
then
can,
how come I haven't lost all my money though? Like, there's people that get burned, yeah, and I just feel like those people are just stupid.
No. You cannot talk about something of the majority when using the example of the minority. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I understand what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying. 99% of the people bought this because of this. He said, yeah, but I didn't lose it because I bought it for that. It's like, okay, well, these are two different scenarios. That's not how it's. I don't know what to tell you.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Like, a lot of people are losing a lot of money, and that majority outweighs the minority of people that are actually, like, you know, benefiting from it. And a lot of the people that are benefiting from it are just shady, scamming, you know.
Here is a good metaphor. Yeah. If I sell you a bottle full of liquid, some cool new drink, right? I tell you, you have
with your bathwater.
You have to put up your butt for it to work, and everybody uses it that way, right? And everybody starts getting like a bunch of really weird symptoms, or whatever. They start getting sick because they put up their butt, right? And one guy says, "Well, I made the research, and you have to drink it, right?" The one guy, and like, "Yo, guys, look at all the benefits of this juice." And it's like, well, it's not people who are using it right now, and it'll take time for people to convert to stop putting up their butt. That's just kind of how it is. And right now, I think NFT is everybody shoving up the monkeys up their ass, and you coming along, drinking it, and being like, "Yo, guys, look. It works for me, bruh." Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I think we're in the early stages of it, so there's a lot of like overhype right now. I agree. But you have to understand though, the reason the overhype is there in the first place is because of the value. Because of the fact that you can verify the authenticity of a virtual item. I mean, bro, everything's going virtual, right? Like on World of Warcraft, like I have a Swift Spectral Tiger. I don't know if you ever played that game or not, but that's like, it's a mount that's worth like $10,000 now, right? And it's nothing more than virtual pixels, right? And I don't own that. Blizzard owns that. It feels like I own it because it's my Swift Spectral Tiger, but I don't own that. Blizzard owns it completely. And as NFTs are evolving, and there's also gaming that are hosted on blockchain, right? Now, when you own that Swift Spectral Tiger, you actually own it as the player. That's another insanely cool reason why NFTs are dope.
Fair enough. Then, what tells you that your skin won't devalue because Blizzard says, fuck it, we're adding, we're releasing a null pack, and we're getting more Spectral Tigers, and the value dips because now there's more supply? What tells you that NFT somebody's not gonna make more or this or that? What, like
I mean, it could happen, but you just have to know that the game that you're investing in, the blockchain game, is like gonna. I mean, bro, like who would have knew that a Swift Spectral Tiger would be worth $10,000 8 years after, you know?
Okay,
whatever, you know.
Because I had an old League account that had a bunch of skins, like the winter skins of the Olympics for like Corki and shit. Yeah. And then, oh, well, look, they're re-released. My account's worth nothing now. Oh, what? So how do you control that this doesn't happen?
Yeah, Riot's a dog shit company. Yeah, I know, bro. Like, you don't know that that's gonna happen for sure. That's why you put your money and you put your investment in smart areas. You look at the teams that built NFT projects and you invest in ones that you feel are gonna be there for a long time. Ones that are passionate about it. And then those are the ones that aren't going to screw over their customers or their players, you know? And the other thing too is like, with the way blockchain works, a lot of times if something's like minted out of 10, you can't just create more. Like there isn't like, oh, now there's 11 out of 10 or 11 out of 11. Like if there's 10 that are created, there's 10 are created, and that's it. And then if NFTs continue to be popular years down the road, the original ones that are valuable now might be even more valuable then.
So they wouldn't be able to create. Let's say the NBA released 10 of one. They wouldn't be able to one day just create more of it.
I mean, they technically could, but would the NBA do that?
Okay.
I mean,
so now we're talking about the standards of the NBA. But what about the standards of some random guy or some random entity or some cool project? What about these guys? What happens when shit goes wrong and they need money? What happens when things start kind of like sinking a little bit? Can you really trust the whole thing?
I mean, I guess not, dude. Like, if you have like a super pessimistic mindset about it, like, yeah, of course, anyone could scam you at any time. I mean, Twitch could shut down too. Like, how do you know Jeff Bezos isn't just going to shut down Twitch? You know, like you're still investing your life into streaming, right?
I think
Even though that could happen.
I think comparing Jeff Bezos and pseudo Picasso with eight followers is a ridiculous comparison.
Yeah, that's why the people that are investing their money into someone that has 8 followers is stupid, you know, like.
But that's most of it currently, I think.
I don't think it is at all.
I think that most of the money being invested into NFT pictures bullshit is mostly with low follower bullshit. That's what I think. That's being promoted by influencers. I think that's one of the big problems. That's why I've been talking to you in the first place.
Yeah, and like I said, that is like kind of like the shitty aspect of it. Like that does happen where influencers are getting paid to promote.
You want a good idea I'm talking about? Listen, I'm not calling out Andy, but if you go to Andy Milonakis' Twitter, go to his last 10 promoted projects. I don't think a single one of them has over 100 followers. That's just what I'm saying. And I think he holds a lot of power as somebody who has a lot of followers. And these projects would never fly, and you wouldn't even call them projects, you would call them a misery if it wasn't promoted by people with a lot of followers. Now, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and something like that is gonna end up being worthless,
but
right?
The problem is that you say something, but that's most of it.
I think it might be most of it. Just like on the altcoins in 2017, most of them ended up being absolutely dog shit. Most of them. But if you spent a lot of time in it and you researched it and you were logical and you used like intelligence and you actually, you know, did research, you ended up making money. You ended up profiting.
Yeah, I mean,
the same way as buying into internet early.
In a perfect world, you're right. That's kind of like, you know, let's be honest. That's kind of like communism. You know, it's. You know.
I guess I don't know. What's the dude's name from Shark Tank? The one that owns the Mavericks? I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
What? Mark
Cuban.
That was a good analogy. I think that was fine.
Mark Cuban. You know who Mark Cuban is?
Yeah, but I was just saying, in a perfect world, everybody will do the research. We'll get the right projects. We'll get the non-scammers. We'll get the whatever, right? But I think right now it's important people understand there's a big danger because most of it isn't. And yes, I get it. It'll translate over. I never said it's a permanent thing. But I'm saying that your average Joe can't navigate things safely with good safeguards and good guidelines.
Yeah, if they don't do research, yeah, I agree. They're gonna end up losing money.
You're 8-year Andy compared to Joe Blow.
Yeah, I know. I get that, and like I also lost money too. Like I lost quite a bit of money in 2017 when like the markets crashed. But the thing is, I was still passionate about it because I understood what was happening underneath the hood of crypto as a whole. And like, that's what kept me in the space. And then as it gets more and more mainstream and it becomes adopted by not just speculative investors, but like, you know, big ass corporations that are buying, you know, millions and millions of dollars worth of different cryptos. And what I was saying before about Mark Cuban too, Mark Cuban didn't care at all about crypto for the longest time. Within the last 2 years, when he started to recognize what was happening with like DeFi, which I said before, decentralized finance,
okay. See,
he got huge boner, bro.
I understand what you're talking about. The problem is that you use examples like extreme big corporates, Jeff Bezos, somebody who are literal VCs, venture capitals, who don't have to care. That's the whole point of it. They don't have to care. That's literally the whole point of it. And you're comparing these guys to the average buyer making $12 an hour. It's such an unfair comparison.
No, I'm comparing them because it shows like the most intelligent people in the world are transitioning into this space, right? Mark Cuban didn't care about crypto, and now you're seeing him on podcasts on
Wait,
Twitch
but
with
if it
like
fails,
young
he doesn't
kids.
matter either.
Why?
That's what I'm saying. If it fails and it fucks up, he doesn't. How many projects has he invested in that failed? A dank ton. What if he told everybody to do the same thing? People will be losing their houses and shit. What are you on about?
Yeah, I know that, but you also need to take risks in life as well. Like,
You can afford to risk when you're broke, though. What is this about? That comes down to literally investing advice, which I don't even think you're supposed to do or whatever, right?
well, yeah, you know, like the financial advisor thing, blah blah blah. You know, I'm not sure. I don't like have conversations or like, you know, create YouTube videos or anything
but
like
it's
that.
but it's crypto and it's blockchain, so I mean we're chilling because it's unregulated, so we're good to go here.
Well, that's the other thing too, is, and I'm glad you brought that up, because pretty much everyone that's really passionate about crypto doesn't have a problem with regulation at all. They think that regulation is good as a whole because of the fact that what you're talking about, the main thing that you're complaining about, people getting, you know, just scammed completely, like that will be happening less and less and less. Hopefully, I mean, I feel like that same type of thing happens in the stock market all the time. I feel like it's rigged as hell. But regardless, though, regulation is a good thing because it makes it where there's more legitimate stuff happening and less like gray, black areas, you know, just not good.
Okay, okay. All I was saying is that I think you have to I think people have to take a step back when you're taking financial advice from elites or whatever that are a lot of times little venture capitals, right? That they have money that they're just gonna put around, and most of it will fail and some of it will pop the fuck off, right? Is that the whole point of venture capital, right?
Yeah,
Some
I
of it will
assume so,
go boom, and a lot of it will go right?
A lot of them fail.
So I think a good example of your Mark Cuban. Okay, I'll fire back then. I'll do a copy paste of the same thing, but with failure. Elon Musk with Dogecoin, pumping the fuck out of it. Always promotes it. Go crazy on it. And where's Dogecoin now? What's up with Dogecoin?
I think Dogecoin's like worthless personally.
Okay,
but, like,
so if he dumps 20 mil in it and it fails and it goes to zero when it was in the morning, do you think that he cares about it? You think that it affects his morning coffee?
no, it doesn't.
It doesn't. So why tell everybody to jump in a ship that you know will probably sink when you have a fucking yacht or 20 yachts behind?
I mean, for starters, Dogecoin is still like a really, really large market cap. Like, it's still top 10. It's got a lot of money in it still. So it's only down like, I think it peaked at like 70 cents or something. It's like 24 cents. So it's like, yeah, it's down from where it was, but
Because it's living on life support from promotion, isn't it? And when he says,
yeah.
"Oh, guys, jump in the ship," everybody jumps. Same thing with NFTs. That's my problem with it. Is that if I made right now 10 images and I didn't tell you about it, and I made a new Twitter account and I was, guys, buy my NFTs, I wouldn't get a single sale in the next 1 million years, right? But if I did it right now on stream and I said, "Guys, look at me, guys," and I promoted it, they would sell in half a second.
so how is that any different than like when you look at artwork, bro? Like, look at some abstract art that looks like absolutely disgusting. I mean, it looks like somebody took a paintbrush and just a paint bucket and just dumped it on the damn canvas, right? But because it's like a popular artist, that piece of artwork will sell for millions of dollars, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It just happens. That's the same thing. It's an identical situation. Like, except for this time, the art person that's selling their artwork as an NFT doesn't get scammed because they're not going through a company.
Yeah, but
same thing with music
I didn't sell them on a dream though. I didn't embark them on a thing that cost them money for the investment or the whatever. They bought it for the value they get immediately now, not for the fucking the whole sphere around it.
Yeah, because they enjoy looking at the artwork. Bro, this is why I brought up the thing about World of Warcraft as well.
Yeah, and you're not gonna convince me that everybody enjoys my purple-headed monkey. No, they don't enjoy it that much. If they cared that much about it, they would have gone or bought art way back when, but they didn't.
Yeah. Okay, so
they don't like them that much. There's no shots.
The world is complete. I mean, who's to say they don't like it that much? They're buying it with like tons and tons of money. So like, they must like it enough to, you know, be risking and investing their money into it. But what I was gonna say though, another reason why I think NFTs are extremely like revolutionary and shit like that is because if you look at the world we live in, it's getting more and more digital like every single year. right? Like if you show your parents that, you know, those skins that you had on Riot, they would on League, they would laugh at you and be like, why is that worth anything? That's stupid, you know, it's a video game. But you look at the kids now that are like younger than us, they live on their phone 24/7. Everything is transitioning into crypto. So like for me and you, if I like show you my Swiss Spectral Tiger, I'm excited to show you it because I'm happy I have it and you probably don't have one, and I get to like feel good that I'm riding around on that mount, right? And you get to, you know, whatever, want one. A lot of people would want one, right? It's like a desirable item. So that's happening more and more with virtual things. And NFTs are literally the exact same thing as that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Can I be honest with you? I generally think that this is just my own perspective. You know, I understand the value of the technology, and I'm actually excited because I think NFTs is a good, it's a cool thing, right? That you can definitely tell it's authentic, and you'll keep it, and there's that amount, and it's yours, right? Yeah. I generally think, even though the whole thing, as a whole, the whole ship is going to sail, right? I think some of it is a big ass bubble that's going to burst. I don't think that many people are gonna be like, oh man, I bought this new house and I want to put artwork and I'm putting this TV and it has my NFT on it. I don't see that. It's just I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think that's cool. Like, I disagree with you there. I think that like the fact that you can like buy different items for inside of like a virtual house, and then you can like bring people like through tours of them.
I meant your real house, not like your Sims City or your Sims whatever.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so, well, with what I just said though, I feel like that's another reason like NFTs are cool. I mean, just the fact that you can do that, the fact that that's a thing, like that has value. And like, I agree with you, bro. Everything is in a major bubble right now. The same thing can be said about almost anything from a financial aspect in the world. Like almost every single stock is overvalued like an unbelievable amount. Does that mean that investing in the stock market is stupid and bad? I mean, no. Like, you know, historically speaking, there's nothing better than investing. Like, it's just the way that it is. But with that being said, NFTs are new. I think that it's a high risk, high reward investment. I think that if you do your research and you invest in like proper projects, it's something that can make you a lot of money in the future. But no one knows for sure what's going to happen.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
Value.
I understand. Of course, there's value. There's always going to be value with anything. I mean.
Yeah, but you talk so much shit about it without bringing up any of the value. You'll flame instantly about the green-eyed monkey, but you won't like talk about in crypto as a whole.
Wait. What would you say though? The value is literally made up. I thought you had value, actual things you could apply to real world, like some actual things, but what you're telling me about is just this what's that about this? Oh, if someone wants to buy it, he can. It's worth that much to him. Type of thing. That's completely different. I thought you had like there's like a real life application. There's like yeah, I mean, yeah, but it's still like made of value. It's just kind of, I'm gonna bring up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what you're saying right now, but
no, me neither. What are you contesting?
I'm saying that there are real world cases. Like for example, like Soulja Boy, you know, he's on Twitch all the time, like, or he used to be at least. Imagine he made an NFT that was like, okay, the highest bidder will be able to have me featured on one of their songs, right? Like, don't you think that's kind of cool? The fact that like a musician is able to make all of the money from them being featured on someone's song without having to go through like a record label and everything like that and give like the manager and their producer and all that thing a huge cut of it. It's all strictly for them now. Like, that's awesome, bro. Like that's.
Wait, do you really need an NFT for that particular use?
Well, I'm not sure, but the same thing happens with like selling music. Anytime like a musician wants to sell their music, it has to go through like a, you know, whatever record label that they're signed through.
Okay, I understand it. I guess some of it will come down to it's just like a human thing. Like what do people do? People now like to have art in their house. Sometimes replicas, sometimes not replicas, right? Like
yeah.
Do you actually see yourself in the future having a flat screen TV, a 90-inch on your wall, and being like, look, that is the purple-headed monkey I bought 8 years ago. Look at it. Like, oh, okay. Send me the certificate of verification from purplemonkey.com. Okay. pull out my phone to, oh wow, it's authentic. That's dang. It's no, I just don't see people doing that. It just sounds so crazy. Yeah, I get it, but it's investment. People buy, I get it. But then
the same thing can be said about real artwork, bro. Like, look at the Mona Lisa or whatever the hell. Like,
but
I don't care about that.
that's how people consume it now. You're not selling on a product of how it's going to be consumed later on. You're not selling on a dream. It's something that they can. It's now though.
Okay, and the you're not able to look at the monkey now, like.
Yeah,
you're able to look at it now.
Okay, but I could look at it from a screenshot.
Yeah. What do you mean?
No, what do you mean?
I'm just saying.
I can see the monkey whether I own it or I don't own it. That's the whole point.
Okay, and you can see the Mona Lisa whether you own it or not too. You can just go to Google Images. But for some reason, someone will pay like hundreds of millions of dollars.
Because
to
I'm
own
just
that.
saying, that's how people do things right now. I get it. You're saying on a dream about how will people consume art in the future. That's a dream. That's a hypothetical. That's an invest, and you're overselling that. How do people consume art right now? I'm gonna put a frame in my frame in my living room. Oh wow, it's so cool, right? That's how people do things, right? But
yes, and the world is becoming more virtual. That's why I brought that up earlier, bro. Like the younger kids nowadays, they don't care as much about having the piece of artwork on their wall in their house. They care more about what they have on their phone.
They buy a replica, and then you think that somebody's gonna buy. They will absolutely want to have the real digital. No fucking shot, dude. People already buy real replicas, and you think something that is even more pristine because it's digital, it can be a one-to-one perfect that they're gonna buy. They're gonna buy or invest into pristines, just because.
Yeah, I think so. The same reason that someone would buy the authentic Mona Lisa or LeBron James basketball card.
I think that's a bubble, and I think it's disingenuous to say that it's not overselling people on a dream or on so many things that could happen, all lined up one behind the other.
Like I said, I don't disagree with you about it being a bubble. I think that I see more of like the value long term because I feel like it's gonna revolutionize the way that music is being sold. I think that being able to remove the record label completely from the picture.
Let's see if it's stack. Music isn't being sold. Nobody buys music.
Okay, well, I mean, look at GroovyBot, for example. There's a reason that got shut down because YouTubers, right? Like, I don't know, a YouTuber that has a YouTube channel where they're like posting their music. A lot of times there's like a manager and a record label and all that shit. Like, you know who Oliver Tree is? Like, he had this huge thing with his record label where like they were limiting what he could do with his music and all this shit, and he was like super mad about it. He was talking about it on an interview with like H3 or something. I don't remember. I can't remember where he was having the interview, but he was complaining about how his record label had like a stranglehold on it.
Well, a lot of these examples are from big people, rich people, influential people that have a lot of followers. None of these apply to your average Joe. None of them do. I haven't heard one.
I mean, I'm an average Joe who was able to make a lot of money.
Because you said in your donos that you would be coming in because of real life applications and how people would use it. Soulja Boy isn't people. This guy isn't people. The Mona Lisa isn't people. These are legends. These are the top dog, the 1%. How does that help the Joe Blow, the average consumer, the guy who buys a replica of artwork and puts it in his living room? How does that help them?
It helps them because if they're intelligent, like I said before, and they do their research, they're able to take advantage of it in a you know, like a investment point of view. And people purchase art. The
technology will last.
Well.
That things won't change. That people will that it'll remain a good and valuable. The idea that people will consume art differently and will collect them differently. All these hypotheticals all in one behind the other, like back to back to back to back. It's like I said, it's disingenuous for me to legitimately try to sell that on to average person that can't promote things or can't pump and dump things, just them to own it or buy it or consume it. It just doesn't make sense. It to me it feels like I'm ripping them off, or they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know. Like, there's so much more than just like the really wealthy people. Like when you're talking about how I was only bringing up like Soulja Boy and you know, like the really wealthy people. Just the fact that like the user, like just the random person that wants to buy the artwork or the song or whatever from the musician or the artist is able to do that, that also benefits them. Like, they don't have to be making money from it in order for it to be an investment. You don't have to invest thousands of dollars into an NFT project to be part of the experience. Like, for example, my girlfriend makes art, right? It's not like super successful or anything like that, but she makes art on like canvas and like it looks really nice, and she tries to sell it, and like, you know, she might sell a couple of them here and there and like Etsy and whatnot, but it's not that, you know, it's not like she's making a huge amount of money from it or anything like that.
Okay.
But as NFTs evolve in the future, there will be an NFT place and like an NFT area where people will be able to sell artwork through that, and she would be able to, for example, sell artwork on there. And like, she doesn't have to be making millions and millions of dollars to be able to participate in it still. Or just the people buying it too. Like, let's say Oliver Tree makes a new song and he,
like I said, I think it comes down to how do people consume art. I think it's a big hypothetical to say that this will remain or will be like a trend for a while. Like that's how I consume art. That's how, like, what happens when you have a big collection of, you pull up your iPads and you look at all what I have, and you show your like certificates of authenticity. Like,
I mean, what do you do when you have trading cards? You wait for your friend to come over and you open up your binder and you show them all your trading cards. What happens when I meet a new friend and I play World of Warcraft with them, right? I go on my Swiss Virtual Tiger and I'm like, yeah, check out this mount. This is my, like, you know, prized possession on this.
Like
thing.
I said,
same shit.
You know, I don't think you get it. It's a how people do things. It just comes down to this is my opinion, by the way. Don't do this as a fact or say I'm dumb for it. It's an opinion.
You're good.
How, as people, as humans, do we do things? How do we consume art? I don't think there's anybody does that. We're saying like I'm gonna pull a binder and show you all my owned NFTs or whatever. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like something that I would do.
Because it's really new, bro. Like the same thing that's happening right now is what was happening in like 2014, 2015 with Bitcoin. No one understood Bitcoin, myself included. That was when I was still learning about it. But like, no one understood it. Everyone thought like this is super foreign. I mean, it's the same thing with the internet. Like, you look at like interviews with people talking about the internet when the internet was first becoming a thing, and they're like, what is this internet thing? You know, like you see the videos about it where people are just completely clueless. Why do I need an email? I have an assistant that can just go send the letter out in the mail for me, right? Like, that's how they literally were thinking back then. But the internet completely revolutionized the way the world works, and now the internet's an amazing, beautiful thing, right? Like, for so many different reasons. The same thing can be said for crypto and Bitcoin. In 2013, Bitcoin was confusing. No one understood it. You fast forward 10 years nearly, and now, okay, Bitcoin makes sense, but now NFTs are like confusing. DeFi is confusing. It doesn't make sense. It takes quite a bit to be able to like fully grasp it and wrap your head around it. And even then, you still are only looking at the fact that like...
Okay. No. As much as I understand that, okay, listen, but how does that person use or interact with that Bitcoin? They trade it, they sell it, they get real life money out of it. It's how they do it, right?
Yeah, and you can do the same thing with an NFT.
Right now, I feel like an NFT, you're selling them on an ideal or things will be done this way or whatever. Because by now, I mean, except for posting on Twitter and putting it as your profile picture of, oh yo, look man, that's my new monkey. I mean, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think that the world is just transitioning into more digital, and I think that the younger generation is going to see more uses for it. And I think that the fact that there is so much money in it, the fact that the market cap of the crypto space and NFTs and all of it is so high, it's like that for a reason. Because people enjoy it. Just because you don't doesn't mean that other people do. So like, for example, two people that are really into crypto are really excited when they get to show their friend the monkey with the green eyes. You're not, because you're not in that space. You don't have any passion for it or anything like that. But it doesn't mean that other people in the world don't.
So right now, then we're getting literally tens of thousands of projects that in them have tens of thousands of monkeys. You honestly think that you honestly think that right now? Oh, I'm gonna sell my house to buy 8 monkeys. I mean, yo, when I'm old or in 20 years, this guy's gonna come to my house and be like, dude, do you really have the purple hat red monkey? No fucking shot you got that. You're so fucking sick. no shot.
The same thing could be said about
not
Bitcoin,
gonna
dude.
happen.
The same thing could be said.
But
Imagine, bro,
yes,
think about this for a second.
but
Imagine
if
in
you wanted
2013.
to, you could sell it
Imagine in
now
2013.
for money.
Okay, and you could do the same
If
thing
nobody
then as
wants
well.
your monkey, what does the monkey do?
Imagine you could sell it for money. If no one wants it, then it's not worth anything. Correct. In 2013, though, someone could have said the exact same thing about Bitcoin. They could have said, like, "What are you gonna do in 10 years? You're gonna give me this Bitcoin? Who cares about that? Who cares about the 20 Bitcoin that you have? That's who cares? It's only $20. That's junk. Why would I want that?"
Okay.
And you fast forward a decade, and now it's worth like over $1 million. Okay. The same thing can be said for NFTs.
If you sold the same dream with another coin, and most of it lost their house, that's the same thing here, dude. There isn't a Bitcoin of NFTs now. Well, what is that? What is that big crazy thing everybody's? No. What are you on about? People are losing shit. Like man, this fucking guy in my game, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I understand people are losing money, and that's the fact that there's no Bitcoin of NFTs right now is the reason why it's so like fascinating to a lot of people, because in the future there is going to be a Bitcoin of right now, but people are just slowly learning and wrapping their head around
Okay, fair enough then. It doesn't have to be smart. It just give me an idea. Brainstorm with me. How do you think people will consume arts in a way that makes NFT pop off in the real world? Let's say, in terms of the same way people collect arts right now.
Okay, so.
Go ahead, tell me.
Okay.
So when if I have cards, like I say, yo, dude, I got these sick ass cards, but I actually got I have a Dark Charizard and Dark Chameleon. I have a bunch, and they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't really care about them.
You realize that a lot of people think that's completely stupid, though. Like people that are older than us.
Oh, and they're right. I think it's stupid, and I have them. That's how stupid I think it is, right?
Yeah.
But that's how I would do it. How do you, in the future, as somebody who collected the monkeys, how do you think it's gonna work? Because as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a new type of digital monster or physical monster that appears every day that sells hundreds of thousands of cards that everybody can buy, and new product. There isn't gazillion of cards. There just isn't.
There are a ton of cards, actually, especially in like the sports card section of like trading cards. Something I was gonna say too is that there's like a transition happening right now.
Let's
like,
be honest.
I told you
There is
Panini
more.
Is like the biggest company.
There's more NFT projects created every day, right? That there has been combined different cards lifetime, right?
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I would agree. There are a lot of different trading cards, but yeah. What I was gonna say though is that Panini, the company that creates trading cards, like that creates all the different sports cards, basketball, football, I don't know, like all of them. Panini's been actually kind of like transitioning into the blockchain technology themselves. So now you're able to buy trading cards from Panini that are actually, they give you the physical card, and they also give you the card on the blockchain as well. So you have that same card and you have it on the blockchain, which is like really cool. Because now that's a way to show people like, hey, the card that I have is pretty much authentic because I have the blockchain version of it right here that I also got from Panini. And I don't know, like that's a real world use case.
That the one with the other is kind of cool. I just don't think I'll own anything that I want to buy right now. Then I'll be like, yep, this is an investment, and later on I'll be able to say, yo, dude, my flat on my TV, this shit, that's dank, man. Look, it's real. I don't know.
A lot of people buy artwork for the investment aspect as well, not just like in the NFT space, but like actual physical artwork.
Rich people, wealthy people.
Rich people. It doesn't have to be rich people.
Joe Blow Andy, and that's the targets of NFTs now. It's your everybody Andy who's being sold on a dream, and I don't agree with it.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I just think that like the stupid people that want to invest in something without doing any research whatsoever, if they get burned, it's just like kind of like a, I guess, natural selection, kind of like a financial natural selection. Okay. Like if people are going to be stupid and they're not going to do research and invest in whatever the hell they see anytime they see it, when they see a Twitter account with 9 followers getting shilled by Andy Milonakis, and they spend $1,000 on it, you know, their entire week working at McDonald's, then they get burned for it.
I guess the rich get richer, and people will get poor, and Pac-Man, let's propel the fuck out of it, and tell people that's the greatest technology on Earth, and people that sell their house to buy it. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it at all.
People that are doing all that deserve to lose. Like,
wow, that's a statement and a half.
I mean, it's just true. Like, if people are going to be...
The people at the forefront of these NFT things are manipulating people, and you're saying that the people that trust them deserve it? I don't agree with it at all, though.
No, I'm saying that if people are going to refinance or sell their house and their kids and their car and everything and put it all into an NFT project, and then it ends up not being worth anything years down the road, I think that they got what they deserved. Like, if you're going to be stupid like that, and there's also a chance that it's going to be worth a lot more money, okay? So there's also that side of it. That's the reason that they're doing it in the first place. But anyone that's actually going that route is an idiot. Like, anybody that's doing that is an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, we don't always have to go to the extreme and say sell the house, sell the kids. It can still be a valuable amount of money that people lost based on the trust they have for people that are being that are manipulating them. And I think it's not a fraction or a minority. I think right now with the sphere, it's the majority of it. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree in the NFT space right now that it is the majority. And I think that it's the same thing as crypto altcoins being formed in 2017. The majority of them were scams. You look at people like McAfee or whatever his name was, you know, John McAfee or whatever, like he was getting tattoos of altcoins on his arm and shit like that, just completely pumping and dumping them, completely taking advantage of people. The exact same thing. But now there's projects that are actually valuable. There's projects that are actually insanely good. And when I told you before that I think NFTs are the least useful form of cryptocurrency, I said that for a reason. I think that NFTs are like, they're my least interested aspect of crypto, but I can still see why there's value behind them. I can still see why there's trillions of dollars invested into them.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, there's other aspects of crypto that are like insanely good. The reason why Mark Cuban is like so ecstatic about it, the reason he compares it to the early days of the internet, because of things like
if I invested some money that I didn't give a shit about into something, and the fact that more people went inside of it would give me more money, that would give me so excited. I'd get a fucking boner. I would go to the doctor for an everlasting boner. Yep, that would be a rock solid. That'd be an insta jizzer. Of course, because...
An instant jizzer?
Yeah, because... think about it. Because I put money I don't give a shit about into something, right? And I say, yo guys, this is dank. Everybody buys it. What can possibly go wrong? Literally nothing. That would make me go bull as well.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I guess, yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I guess... You're just extremely against it.
I'm not against it. I don't know. Like I said, it'll be good. It'll be good 100% when things course correct. I don't agree with this joint applications. It's why I'm not being part of it. And if I was, I'd be secretive about it, and I wouldn't tell my chat or social media about my NFTs.
Okay, what about this, bro? Look at the entire way that the financial system in real life works. Okay, I mean, look at how expensive rent is. Right? Like where I live, a one-bedroom apartment is like $1,600.
In real life, I'm pretty sure if you do financial advice like people are doing, I'm pretty sure in real life with normal currency, you go to jail.
Okay, so yeah, I think I know what you're saying. It's like a financial advice or whatever. You're not allowed to give it unless you have like a certain license, whatnot. Right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying the way things are being funded and dumped. Yeah, that in the real world with normal stocks and all the things, yeah, that is absolutely illegal. You go to jail, 100%.
Okay, yes, I agree, and that's why I said before that everyone that's in the crypto space that's passionate about it doesn't care about regulation.
Yeah, but people that claim they're passionate about it only passionate about it because of what they get out of it, but they don't give a shit about it. What is the percentage of people do you think that are very passionate about NFT right now? Once the regulations kick in and they can't do what they're doing right now. How many of them will remain in a sphere so passionate about it? Dude, it's... Come on. Let's... A fraction of a fraction.
I guess, yeah. I just feel like the same arguments that you're making could be used towards artwork and like actual physical artwork in like music as well. Like
Where,
the only
where,
people that benefit from anything are people that are like extremely wealthy, the ones that are at the top of the top. And I think that the crypto space as a
without
whole,
exploiting the poor or the less fortunate or the people that are in trust. So yeah, it only benefits the rich without hurting the poor. But this is the opposite. This is cannibalistic instead of opportunistic. You understand it?
see, that's where I disagree though. I think that it is opportunistic. I think
That
the
is
fact that, like,
cannibalistic.
bro, look, the fact that if you grow up in like a relatively poor family, like lower class, the probability of you actually making it in life, actually like you know, doing anything successful is like really, really low. Like realistically, you have to work a 9-to-5 job. You have to work 2 9-to-5 jobs just to barely get by right now. Okay, like pretty much everyone can agree about that. And the fact that the crypto space is an area where if you're, like I said before multiple times, if you're logical about your decision making, you're able to make money from it. Okay, like you're able to actually profit from it if you're smart about it. Like that's cool, because I grew up exactly like that, bro. Like, you know, I didn't get very many Christmas presents. My family didn't have very much money, and now I'm comfortable. Like I'm extremely comfortable, and it's because of my hard work, and it's because of crypto, literally. Like that's the reason, and because of video games. Like,
No, wait. I understand 100%. What I'm telling you though. Okay, no, we're going in circles. We're going in circles. I think you understand I think you understand my arguments. I'm not
Yeah,
comfortable promoting it and agreeing with it in its current state. It'll level out. I don't agree with it right now. The fact that
But do
you
you think
gain out
it's
of
cool?
it is great, but the technology is great. Its usage is shady right now, and I don't want to enjoy it. And I think
let
people
me ask
should
you
be
a couple
careful.
questions real fast though. So do you think it's cool that a musician is able to sell their music without having to go through like a producer or a label, and they can get all the profit for themselves? You think that's a beneficial thing?
Yes, they should, but often enough, they need the labels. They need the record labels and shit.
But that's the thing though, is they won't need it when it comes to the blockchain. They're
What?
able to do everything for themselves.
Then they're gonna fall flat on their face and die then.
Not necessarily. The platform, the blockchain
Wait,
technology
do you
is a platform
understand?
for them to
Do you
advertise.
understand the uses and what record labels do for people? They're not like
they
some
advertise.
useless fucking thing you have to route through. Like people sign these deals because they're gonna have to or because they want to. It's what they do to survive or get by. Like it's a medium that's kind of like needed.
Yeah, it's an example of a centralized party that's giving you what you need. Like the same thing as like the banking system.
Yeah, but
right?
if you
like,
went, if you didn't go through them or whatever, how are you gonna fund your next project or whatever when you're a starving artist? How are you getting your
That's my
funding?
point. That's my point, is that there's going to be crypto spaces where that is going to be happening like behind the scenes because of the way that crypto works, because of the blockchain technology. The same way that like right now, if you want to send money to someone that lives in the United States, it's a pain in the ass.
Do you understand what you were saying? Wait, you went off the rails with this one.
No, I'm not off the rails.
Okay. Okay, the way I understand it, record labels are good because when you're an artist and even when you're not up and coming and you sign with them, they'll fund your like studio time, projects, music videos, and they're gonna juice your thing out for you to sell your product and propel it for it to reach success, right? And then
Yes.
and then you owe them money, right? Right?
Correct.
Okay, and if you don't have that, you kind of fail, but you still need to go through the record label, whether it's NFT or not. It would still be a record label.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you miss out on like that aspect of it when it comes to like if you're only selling your artwork or your music like yourself on blockchain, you are lacking like that advertisement and stuff like that. But it's just
No,
cool
no,
though,
you don't
the
lack,
fact
you
that like
die.
you can take away. I mean, not necessarily. Like there's the people that made these monkeys with the green eyes, you know, they have value, you know.
They
didn't
were
have value
propelled
before,
by
now they
big
do.
influencers, which are record labels in one way or another. It's a good comparison.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like the Andy Milonakis is almost like the record label because he's advertising it for the money, right? That's your pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's a product that would never be seen or we won't be able to fly, but it's a propeller. The regular level is a propeller. The influencer is a propeller. That's how it works. Product.
Yeah, but once you're propelled, once you're flying in the air, then you have the freedom to do whatever you want. Right? That's where
yeah,
blockchain...
but you still owe them money. The problem is still there.
Yeah, until the contract is done, and then you're able to go off and do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, I don't think NFTs solves that problem.
I think that blockchain does, and
if you
NFTs
signed your
literally
documents
using
properly, I don't think there's much of a problem.
I mean, I guess you're gonna have to be constantly re-signing with them, and then, you know, staying with the label and giving them a huge percentage of your money. I don't know. I've just seen a lot of musicians complain and a lot of artists complain about it.
Yeah. Listen. That was a good talk. Thanks for coming on. I don't think there's much of a conclusion. Not because I don't want to have a conclusion. I think what you said, I understand. I opened my eyes to certain new uses, like the fact that a physical to a digital together. I think that's a cool mix-up, and there's a couple of cool things you brought up. I generally appreciate.
Yeah,
and
problem.
As I stand right now, if I bought NFTs or if I had some, I wouldn't tell anybody about it, just because it feels disingenuous and it doesn't feel right. And I understand that the fact that things aren't regulated make that even worse.
Yeah, I know. And in the future, when regulation happens and when NFTs are, when there's more of a platform for everything, like the ecosystem right now is so fresh that it's hard to even really give like good examples of anything, because the fact that the ecosystem is so fresh and new, and a lot of it right now is just overhyped bubble, like you've said. Like as it evolves and as the ecosystem grows, you'll see that there is going to be more and more use cases that come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for the talk, man. Thanks for educating us about it. And thank you, man. Okay.
Yeah, man, take
yeah,
care.
I'm dying, dude. I need to get some sleep. All right.
Oh, you're good, man.
Take care, man.
See
See ya, dude. It's good. Disney says, just for information, every single person promoting NFTs is some fat loser fuck trying to get rich flipping them to other people. Lamau. Okay, thanks, Disney.